as I'm scheduling the upload to go live today, I just got new news, and if you guys haven't followed me on Twitter, I tweeted this out yesterday, and it's absolutely nuts. GameStop stores just get a memo saying that Sony will no longer provide full game digital download codes and to retailers, not just GameStop. Starting April 1st, digital games will only be available straight from the PlayStation Network store after that date. Now, add-on content and PSN cards will still be available at retail stores such as GameStop and wherever else you buy these codes or cards. It's honestly really shocking, but not that shocking news. You know, Sony wants to eliminate the middleman. It's more cost effective for them to sell games straight from the PlayStation Network store, especially with digital games. Now, a lot of people, including the person that tweeted this out, Wario64, was like, okay, Sony is going to do this. We better well get gifting games. That should be a thing in the near future. And I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on that in the comment section below. But honestly, like, rest in peace, GameStop. Wow, this is really crazy news. Now, let's go ahead and get right into the rest of the video. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Monkeyflop here, and today I'm talking about the PlayStation 5, baby, but also what is going on with the physical copies in retail stores, because there is new news coming out, and I actually witnessed some of it here today, so we're going to jump into that. First, I wanted to talk about the PlayStation 5, because I've talked about it in a couple of videos, and honestly, some people are like really excited for what the future holds with PlayStation, and other people, including myself, are like, you know what? I don't need a PlayStation 5 right now, thank you very much. I'm really content with what the PlayStation 4 has to offer. So, with that being said, there are fans also concerned about Stadia. If you guys haven't heard, Google announced their new console that they're going to be bringing to the table. And while we don't know if it's an actual console, I'm sure they're going to have some sort of box, but it's a streaming-only device, and it's going to be digital only. That's crazy news, right? But if we look at what retail stores are currently doing, if you guys haven't seen my video about GameStop destroying games, I'm going to have a card above this video. Make sure you guys go and watch that after this video is finished, because it's really interesting, and I did find out from the actual employees of GameStop that the CEO and like executives are directing them to destroy PlayStation 3 games. That's right, you guys heard me correctly. And, well, could PS4 games be on the way? Who knows? Now, GameStop is also in the news because they're going to be revamping and changing up the store. They're probably preparing for a digital age and a digital era of games. And we are looking and moving forward into the future of digital games. But with the PlayStation 5, in my opinion, I do believe that PlayStation will have a big leg up on the console market if they release a console with physical games and a disc drive in it as well. A lot of people love to use their PS4 for you know, streaming, but also they love to use it for DVD, Blu-ray, and even if, you know, the PlayStation 5 had like a 4K player, that would be totally freaking awesome. I'd love to know what you guys think about that in the comment section below. But honestly, like, PlayStation fans are honestly going to stick with PlayStation, and with the new PlayStation, you know, coming out, we are hoping for an announcement in 2020, or heck, even 2021, but with the competition announcing their stuff now, we are honestly kind of expecting that to be out in the future. But let's go ahead and go back to, you know, physical games getting destroyed. And, you know, the market is actually changing. And a lot of video game, you know, developers and studios love digital games because it's cost effective. There's minimal cost in releasing their game. There's a lot more cost when it comes to actually producing a disc, creating the art, and having it distributed to retail stores. And with that being said, you know, we do have GameStop, which is kind of weird and odd, but they've also got a lot of stuff going on. But recently I walked into my Target, one of the Targets that I go to, and I was really surprised with the fact that they're remodeling the store, and with the PlayStation 4 games, You guys are seeing it on the screen right now. I took a picture because I was just like, whoa. I was honestly like dumbfounded by the fact that they minimized the physical games to a small section within an aisle. Usually we get a full aisle of you know, physical games for PS4, and they've reduced it tremendously. I did ask the workers at Target. They said they didn't know what was going on, but they are remodeling, and just stay tuned for you know, once they're finished, because it's going to look completely different. But like the PS4 section was already pretty much on lock, and a lot more Targets are actually remodeling their stores, and we're probably going to see less physical games in stores. Now this was honestly a really eye-opener for me. You know, I love physical games, but let's be honest, let's keep it real. I own more digital games than I do physical games, just because of the PlayStation Network sales, and I can find cheap games a lot of the times on the PlayStation Network. Nevertheless, I do love physical games, and I want to pass the question off to you. I'm going to have a poll above this video, and the question is, do you own more digital games, or do you own more physical games? If you guys need to go and count, I'd love to know in the comment section below, you know, what the numbers look like, because honestly, like, I do own a good amount of physical games, but I own a lot more digital games. And this is not like including, you know, PlayStation Now, PlayStation Plus. This is actually like purchasing games within the PlayStation Network store. And I wanted to pass a question off to you, because there's been a lot of debate about digital games, and you know, even myself, I'm like kind of like put off with digital as a whole. I'd rather prefer like physical copies. But with that being said, like, you know, the way that the game is changing, PlayStation 5 is probably going to have a lot more digital sales than they do actual physical sales. A lot more of the smaller titles don't even come to physical release at all. There are companies out there that will make the extra effort to make sure that the game goes physical and actually into retail stores, but it's far few in between. And honestly, like with the PlayStation 5, I anticipate, now, you know, I could be completely wrong and analysts could be completely right, but I do anticipate that PlayStation 5 will have some physical games and have some sort of disk drive. That will definitely give them the leg up in the business, but don't be surprised if the next, you know, console from PlayStation is announced and it's a stream-only service. I mean, fingers crossed we do have physical, but we're looking at that probably in the future. Maybe the PlayStation 5 will have different versions. Maybe it'll have a disk drive in one of them and a digital-only console in another one. But definitely, like, if we're looking like 5 years into the future with maybe PlayStation 6, even if that exists, which I'm sure, you know, PlayStation is a household name, and as long as Sony doesn't go bankrupt, we're definitely going to get a PlayStation 6, which I'm talking like years out. But that console will honestly be a digital-only console for sure. But as far as the PlayStation 5, right now it's kind of up in the air. We do have some, you know, speculation and some rumor to be confirmed that we're going to get backwards compatibility with PlayStation 5. And you know, all of these things will give PlayStation 5 a leg up. If you're a console owner, one thing that you're accustomed to, one thing that you're used to is the hardware, and depending on PlayStation to provide that hardware to you. If you think about like PC gaming can be very expensive. You always constantly have to upgrade or update something, and that is all cost on you. As far as like consoles go, with the PlayStation 4, you have the hardware, and other than updating or upgrading your memory, which is a big issue currently with the PlayStation 4. Other than that, you really don't have to worry about, you know, hardware upgrades to the actual system. It's there, it plays, and heck, if you have PlayStation Plus, you can automatically update your PS4 and never have to worry about game updates or even, you know, the system software updates as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, I love to know what you guys think about, you know, how we're moving into the digital era. And it kind of sucks to see like Target like minimizing their selection of games. We've already seen this in a lot of Best Buys and a lot of other retail stores here in Los Angeles and even in the United States. And you know, as far as like GameStop's concerned, they're completely garbage. I do recommend you guys go and check out you know, the cheap games that they have available, because those won't be available very soon. But it's going to be interesting to see like how GameStop you know, is going to completely revamp and rejuvenize the store itself. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to hit a like, comment down below, let me know what you guys honestly think about physical games pretty much disappearing in this day and age of digital games. So thank you guys so much. I will see you guys in the next news update. You guys are freaking awesome.